I get to sit next to him, everybody. Isn't that great? Yay! Of course, All right. So does anybody have any questions? Anything that they would like to know? All right.
What was your hardest role to play, and why was it so hard?
What was my hardest role to play, and why was it so hard? I would have to say there were a few of them, but the Halloween 2, because I wanted to top what I did in the first one. And talking with Rob, we made the kills more aggressive. So taking it to the next level was
You heard aggressive kills, you got excited.
intense, right? There you go. But it was a lot of fun. You know, I'm very lucky for what I do and what I get to do, but, you know, getting up in the morning and going to a movie set, it ain't that bad of a life, you know what I mean? You go 16 hours and stuff like that, but, you know, I'll add something to that too. I'm doing a TV series for Netflix. I can't tell you what it's called, but we're in the middle of filming it right now, and what I'm doing during that is probably the most physical and toughest stuff I've done, but it is going to look so cool when it comes out. You guys are going to love it.
I got a question.
Yes.
What was the difference from working with Rob Zombie as opposed to anyone else? Because his horror it's more gory and it's way more out there and more bizarre than, let's just say, like your basic scary behind the door ghost type of deal. His is a lot more like...
Yeah, that all comes out of Rob's head.
Yeah,
you know? I tell you, I was doing an interview with Rob. It was for some news article or something, and the announcer said to him, he goes, "Well, where did you get all this from?" And he goes, "Well, you know, when I was 5 years old, my parents were carnies, and I saw a guy run up to a guy and hit him, and hit the other guy in the back of the head with a ball-peen hammer. He kind of just died right there." And I was like, okay, that's kind of, you know, so that's the kind of mindset it's coming from. But working with Rob was just so cool. He's so laid back because he's an artist himself. And during the day, it'd be like, "How do you want to kill people today?" I'm like, it's kind of cool. Let's figure this out, you know? So, and then we just came up with stuff, and he had ideas, and I had ideas, and we added to it. And like with the, it was really funny, the scene with, in the stripper's office, I guess, what would you call that? I guess it was Dan Roebuck's in the second one where the stripper, I bashed her head in the hallway, and then, yeah, I know. Well, but anyhow, they had a stunt coordinator there and a stunt guy, and he says to me, "I don't know if you know my background, I'm a professional wrestler," and he goes, "So do you know how to choke slam somebody?" And, you know, I said, "Yeah, I think I got this," you know? And he was trying, the stunt guy was trying to be all cocky and everything. And then he said something to Rob, and Rob was just like, "Oh, just give it to him." And he yelled, "Rolling." And I picked that guy up and I slammed him right through the couch. And he goes, "Okay, you know what you're doing." And Rob was just laughing. So, I mean, we had a lot of fun.
One thing that I was very curious about is in the movie, of course, there's lots of gore and everybody ends up dying, which is simply amazing, you know, because that way they can party with me down in hell. So I like seeing that. Unless they were very good, you know, then I'm very sad because I'll never meet them because then they go up there. But out of all your kill scenes, which was your favorite and why?
I would have to say my favorite kill scene is the nurse in the opening of Halloween 2. I stabbed her 30 some odd times, but she went on to win an Oscar. So technically, I'm the only serial killer to kill an Oscar winner. I'll take that. I mean, I always wanted, I grew up tall, skinny kid, glasses, braces, slightly dyslexic, so my weekends were my getaway. You know, I'd watch Stampede Wrestling in the morning, and then I'd watch action films all afternoon. So then I was lucky enough to get to be a wrestler. And then when I was wrestling in Mexico, I got offered a film. And I said, I don't speak Spanish. They go, don't worry, we'll dub it. You know, okay. And so my first movie role, I played an intergalactic vampire that shot laser beams through his fingertips, and I had a pink fog that followed me everywhere. Don't judge, it was the 80s. I'm sure you guys did a lot of crazy things in the 80s too. A pink fog following me wasn't that bad. But I wrestled a girl, Gloria Mayo, who was a very famous Spanish actress, and had a lot of fun. And I realized, you know, I kind of like getting paid and fed and not getting dropped on my head like in the wrestling. So I said, I'm going to transfer into film. And then I got X-Men. When I got X-Men, I hung up my wrestling boots, and here we are today.
I have two questions. Including Halloween, who is your favorite? Is it still the other character, or did you like being Michael the best? And then my second part is, would you come back and be Michael again in the future?
Okay, so the question is which character I like playing the best, including Michael. Yeah. You know, I've been very lucky and blessed to play so many cool characters, from Sabretooth to Michael Myers to this new thing that's coming out that I can't tell you about, or I'd have to kill you all. So it's hard to pick. It's really hard to pick. And if the second part of your question was, would I play Michael Myers again? Probably not. Because here's why, unless Rob was doing it. Because every director and producer has a different vision of how they want things to go and how they see it going. If I was going to portray Michael Myers again, I would have to take him to the next level. For me personally, because I just don't want to do the same thing, or I don't want to do something lesser. And topping Rob's or taking Rob's stuff to the next level, I don't know what I would have to do to make it more vicious and be brutal. So never say never, but I don't think I would do it again unless Rob was doing it.
Now, in Halloween, you got to use weapons and you stab people, especially knives. You also were in the movie Troy, and you got to swing this big, giant hammer thing that just cleaved people in half, and it was very messy. Were you, at any point when you're swinging things around, were you worried about actually hurting someone?
Yeah, I mean, that was a big, heavy hammer that I had in Troy. And the shield was like the size of a refrigerator door. It was crazy, you know. So I think the only person that I hurt was myself. I had that beach scene where I had to charge up the beach, and I'm carrying this refrigerator door and the hammer, and a big gust of wind came up, and it literally pulled me over backwards. It was so intense. So the only person that I really hit with the hammer was myself. And it hurt like hell. That is a good question. I mean, Robert Rodriguez, there's so many of them, you know, that I would love to, but Robert would be really cool. I'd love to work with James Gunn. I'd love to work with, you know, I mean, there's so many of them.
To break into the movie industry or the horror industry, whether they're doing it as a charity haunted house, or if they're doing it professionally and trying to do it as a YouTube channel, or if they want to actually go in bigger, what advice can you tell them that might actually help them out?
Yeah, I mean, there's no set way to get into the business that I do. I've been very lucky and blessed because of my size, and I've had the stepping stone from the wrestling to the acting to where I am today. I would say if you really want to be an actor, go in, invest in some classes, acting classes, learn from as many different people as you can, and make sure you're having fun doing it. And don't take yourself too seriously, because it isn't rocket scientist, science. It's acting, it's having fun, it's playing a different character, but you got to bring from your personal experiences to your performance. So it's just have fun, enjoy what you're doing, get some classes, and if you want to do it, pursue your dreams. Because I'm just a dumbass Canadian boy that was tall, skinny, with glasses and braces that got to do some pretty cool things. So just follow your dreams.
I'm sorry. I have another two-parter. What is your all-time...
Two-parters.
I just wonder these things. What is your all-time favorite movie, and what's your favorite Halloween candy?
Okay.
What is my all-time favorite movie? Okay, number one, I'd have to say Jaws. I love Jaws. It's timeless. Every time it comes on, I watch it, I see it, I love it. Favorite Halloween candy?
Yeah. Or any candy. What's your favorite candy?
Coffee Crisp. It's a Canadian coffee bar. They're really good.
You have to order them online now, right?
Probably. Yeah, there's some places you can get them. Or they have Aero bars in Canada. Those are pretty good too, the mint ones. Why are you laughing? You Canadian? If you are Canadian, you know what I'm talking about. Yes. If you've had one, you know what I'm talking about. It is very, you just gotta try one.
Can you tell us about one of the gifts that you thought was actually really neat that stood out?
I have a lot of people that will draw the Michael Myers or the Sabretooth. It's very cool. And when I have a little kid come up with their parents and they hand me one that they drew, I think that's just so sweet. It's so touching that they watch and draw, and they want to do it. I say, oh, you want to be a serial killer when you grow up, or you want to be an actor? And they go, an actor. So good thing you could clarify that.
Yes. You have to clarify that, because you never know what direction the people are going in. Some people take everything literally. There are...
I don't want to go in your direction.
Oh, definitely. Don't want to come down and see me, unless you do. I mean, permanent residents. And if you do good, and, you walk well down in hell, Lucifer gets a little mad at me, and he sends me up to see you guys every now and then. So I think I'll keep doing good. But, so, Tyler has been here, and he's really an amazing man, and, I'm really proud to have him here at Haunted Screams Expo. If you guys get a chance, get to know him. If you have any questions, please talk to him. World of knowledge in this man right here. And remember, unfortunately, there are some people out there that can't separate reality and fantasy, just like you said. And they'll come up to him and they'll be like, "Why are you dressed like that? You should be in your Mike Myers. You are Mike Myers, aren't you? But they can't separate that."
Yeah, it's hard to get on a plane with the knife. Since 9/11, I had to leave that thing at home when I go traveling.
I thank you very much, sir. Appreciate everything that you've done.